right? Without Nora and Rad. We kind of say, look, to make Nora and Rad happy, Galactus he brought back the Babe. That pesky, pathetic female Silver Surfer, soon coming to you a live action thanks to the wonderful minds of the Marvel Cinematic Studios, also known as Marvel Studios or the Disney Powerhouse. They've chosen a female Silver Surfer in the new Fantastic Four movie. I get it. We all know it's going to be like kind of a multiverse movie. I'm already confused. It's spiking on eBay. Earth X number 12 is spiking on eBay. But yeah, people are wrong. Let's go. Some days I wish this was absolutely filled with bourbon or scotch or motor oil, because I need strong things to deal with this LOL world I live in when it comes to comic book collecting. We're going to be getting into it. Comic book shops are closing again. We have a couple high profile shops closing up. And amongst that are these very odd capital investments that now we require from comic shop owners, meaning you have to invest in slabs. Why? Why do you have to invest in slabs? It's just too much of an expense. You have to buy your inventory for as little as possible. Slabs, no, killing comic shops. You have to buy an omnibuy library where you just have to buy collected editions and artifact editions that are all relatively between $100 and $200. You're going to have to buy them at a discount, sell them at a discount, and you're going to make probably 15% off of a $200 sale. No, your margins have to be 60, 70% when it comes to retail. Give and take. But we're in this generation where something like the X-Men animated series spikes all of this activity with X-Men keys. Like, I still have no idea why anyone cares about Mr. Sinister. It's beyond me. People are paying money for the first appearance of Jubilee. Never a beloved character. I mean, that original X-Men series, we all hated Jubilee. If Wolverine, first appearance of Wolverine number 1, or the second number 1, any of the number, if they want to spike, let them spike, because people love that character. Let that spike. Jubilee spiking, whatever. Dazzler spiking off of some hope and dream that Taylor Swift is portraying Dazzler in Wolverine Deadpool. People, this is what I mean about comic book collecting. And speculation is broken. So a part of that, we get this madness around what's the first appearance anymore. People are actually paying high dollar for catalog first appearances, for advertisement first appearances. And they're paying because of this Marvel Cinematic Universe news that they actually think Earth X number 12 is going to have a Iron Man 55 level elevation, or a New Mutants 98 level elevation, or Amazing Spider-Man 300 level elevation. They really think that this version of the Silver Surfer is going to be a gold mine. Who's buying these books for this amount of money? But based on the logic of it all, no one is discussing the true first appearance of this Babe. Now, I also wanted to highlight what this book actually is, because I think a lot of you out there should see it. First appearance, there's Boy Silver Surfer, and there's Baby Babe Silver Surfer. This is the first appearance. Thank you, Wizard Magazine, issue 77, for your supplemental material. You gotta include this in your book, because your magazine should stop selling. You gotta pack it in with stuff. Could you imagine Playboy ever doing that? Like, hey, our content's not good enough. Here's another book with your book. So we're going to hit the drawing table. I want to get into that Earth X preview book because I think it's a beautiful way to showcase how we display our ideas. And a lot of the independent world, the independent comic book world, loves doing preview editions or issue zeros or ash cans. And they really are lost on what the what the push should be, what the feeling should be when you go through the book, and what they should try and execute. Alex Ross, beautifully, probably the greatest salesperson in comic book history from a creator standpoint, knows how to sell an idea. Now, it doesn't mean that Earth X was like a hot seller or hot commodity back in the day. I read it as it was coming out. I was thrilled by it. But we have this like multiversal trope now that stems out of Earth X, and it's a it's a more significant thread than people realize, because really what Earth X did perfectly, it gender swapped. It went very literal on the idea, meaning Daredevil is actually a Daredevil. A gender swap. We got a female Silver Surfer, a female Captain America. And it went very literal with a lot of its interpretations of these characters, and it subverted expectations with some of the character takes. Those three pillars, subverting expectations, being literal, and gender swapping, is really what everything that propped up Earth X and made it exciting at the time. What didn't make it exciting is we wanted Alex Ross artwork throughout all of those interiors. Just never realized that was probably never a possibility. But we got John Paul Leon, and he's great. R.I.P. to John Paul Leon. So let's hit the drawing table. I just want to showcase the true first appearance of the Baby Babe Silver Surfer, and highlight something that is I just love keeping around because it's such a beautiful published piece that sells big ideas, and that's very difficult to do. Guys, are you ready? Let's go.
All right, here it is, AKAPADers. I want to make a quick note. When Alex Ross came to the scene, Wizard was there, and the two of them worked together. Everyone knew. Everyone was reading Wizard, and everyone knew everybody wanted more Alex Ross. It's a match made in heaven. It really is. Just when it comes to like the worker and the publicity. Alex Ross, his rise is a pushback to the Image 7. Pushback to Crypt here, but come on guys. Real quick, let me know in the comments. Who wants to see a Crypt Earth X crossover? Who wants to see that? But the Image 7 just eroded the idea of consistent high-level comics. Before the Image 7, comic books were regular, but they weren't always great, and they weren't always rendered or drawn in a spectacular way. The Image 7 comes along and just shatters all of it. And that doesn't last long, though. And Alex Ross is one of the individuals that emerges from the smoke and the dust of all of this. Wizard is the reason why we have Earth X as a technically. I know it's come back in different forms, and if they are using the female Silver Surfer in the new MCU Fantastic Four movie, with that carrying on. Highly influential Earth X. Wizard Entertainment was bugging Alex Ross because previously they had success in getting Alex Ross to do these future versions of DC characters. He did that first for Wizard, and then that became Kingdom Come. Wizard came first in both accounts. And speaking of that, well, we have like a pretty good breakdown here at the introduction where Wizard explains it. Side note, guys, center justification, splitting it down the middle for the win. I love the look, the fonts, just the overall art direction for this interior cover page. It's spectacular. The black and white works, and like I said, we have two fonts and we just milked the living hell out of them. So Wizard 77. Alex Ross has his own little introduction, and he just basically hypothesizes where this universe is. And the universe is the mutant dormant gene in all of humanity gets triggered. It gets triggered by a virus. Everyone becomes a superhero. And then we get issues with who saves who and where's the humanity and all of that. Okay? He calls it somewhat of like, where is it humanity once the humanity has become superheroes? And he calls that the mystery of Earth X. The introduction here, though, really excites you. Like, this is so exciting to read because it's just the idea of, hey, what if? And it becomes a major thing. Now, I always don't really subscribe to alternate realities. I'm a strict continuity boy. I don't like the alternate anything. But if I were to like anything, I'd like Dark Knight Returns and I like Earth X. So we have our Inhumans and we get these really nice descriptions. And I really feel like a lot of times, like we'll just kind of say, you know, like people use like trading cards, and these are available for free, by the way, at AKAPAD.com. A lot of people use this technique the wrong way. And it's just kind of like you're doing the brain dump, and it's not really the fantasy of what the text here is depicting. So it's not like this text here is the fantasy of this version of Daredevil. This text here is a fantasy of the writer itself. And it's just the idea of, wouldn't it be cool if this existed, and let me tell you about it. I know a lot of you guys go and you try and create something similar. This is so well organized, and there's such a good eye for layout. Look how this feels perfect. And there's so many indie comics that don't know what this is. And I try to explain it to them. Maybe you try to explain it to them. And they don't reach out to get the resources to make a beautifully printed book. They just don't. But we get Captain America, we get Daredevil. Maybe I mentioned it in the intro. One of the interesting like mashes also of Earth X is like he gets two ideas and puts them to one. So we have Daredevil and Ghost Rider. Make them one. And we kind of see that theme throughout. We have Doctor Doom and Reed Richards, make them one. We have Iron Maiden and a Hot Babe, make them one. We have, well, Red Skull and the Punisher, but make it also a kid. Right? Namor, the Cursed, always a wild idea. But it's part Namor, part Human Torch. We have the true extension of the Peter David Hulk run here. This is because Alex Ross was heavy into reading Peter David's Hulk. That just shows you how influential and meaningful. Look, the Ang Lee Hulk movie is the Peter David Hulk. Again, people miss that effing point. But we have a split of the personalities. And we have a Banner Child and a brutish Hulk gorilla, which is awesome. But yeah, we gender swap. We get one idea, we make it into everything with the Iron Avengers. The X-Men are kind of taken like literal, and we see like a Grant Morrison take where it wasn't until New X-Men where like the you know, like the sideshow type ideas came back, and you see that here with the Doubleheader and Dogface. The Sorceress Supreme, again, let's just gender swap and move forward. Let's take one idea and make it the theme. The Thing now is the Fantastic Four, and then we have the Marvels, but then we have the Silver Surfers. So here we go. This is the first appearance. Earth X is not the only place of starting transformation. Some incomprehensible change in the role of Galactus has altered the lives of those subjugated to the will of the World Devourer. And Galactus feared the world's over has brought Norrin Radd a gift, a greater than the energy of the cosmos. Blah, 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 blah. But it's great. You know, like, it's really nice stuff. And sorry if I didn't read that too quick. Guys, it's been a long day. I apologize. But we're going to follow this with the Earth X short film made by Alex Ross. just because I want to sell the idea of what Earth X was at this time. And yeah, but a lot of people will say, well, this is her, right? And now she's going to be in the movie. But she doesn't really exist or have meaning without Silver Surfer, right? Without Norrin Radd. And we kind of say, look, to make Norrin Radd happy, Galactus he brought back the Babe. So it's confusing, but when it comes to today's first appearance standards in modern comic book collecting, this is the first appearance. So people are paying $100 or $30 for that Earth X-12. But we have Venom, we have Green Goblin, again, literal Spider-Man, like flipping the idea, let's just make Peter Parker big and fat. The Marvel Universe, and this is Captain Marvel, who kind of like comes back, and we have a beautiful look. Marvel is more than a group of magazines. See how, remember we talked about this? Comic books are magazines. They're periodicals that sell advertising because they have a high distribution. We need to get back to that idea, like all of us. Like, get advertising in your book. It's the age of the internet. You can find advertisers. Find advertising to roll into your book. It's a cornucopia of fantasy, a wild idea, a swashbuckling attitude, an escape from the humdrum and prosaic. See, comic books is escapism. The Wizard Publishing Empire right here. Take a shot every time I say no one. No one else in this episode, in this AKAPAD episode. Because we don't get a lot of discussion anymore for Inquest. Toy Fair is still lingering. And we know why we talk about Wizards a lot. But yeah, guys, showcasing the first true appearance of the female Silver Surfer based on modern day collecting standards. But also, I just want to show this off because I feel like there's a lot of you out there that can learn just how this was put together. And I think it's great. I think it's a lot of fun. I think for a portfolio piece, you should put together something like this. All right, AKAPADers, get ready for a little short film directed by Alex Ross from Earth X, available in the Graffiti Designs 14-issue hardcover slipcase. I don't know if I got all that out right, but yeah, hang out. We're gonna get to it.
There is no good. There is no evil. There is only change.